So I've got some notes with me today. I just finished listening to Writing Excuses, and I don't always get to listen to Writing Excuses, which is a fantastic podcast, with a pen and paper in front of me. I often pop it on while I'm in the car. The distance from daycare to whatever my next errand is usually about 15 minutes long. It's a great start to my morning. Or if I get home and I haven't listened to it, I pop it on while I clear my workspace, load my computer, all that sort of thing, and then I can dive straight into writing. And I've been listening to it for 6 years now, 5 or 6 years. So yeah, if you haven't started yet, you have got a world of information to check out over at Writing Excuses. Today was season 11, episode 49, and it was about ensemble stories, and I very much think that's what I'm trying to write with my work in progress, my YA story, Twice Upon the Night Sky. It's got two sets of sisters. The two older girls are close in age, the two younger girls are close in age, and the main driving theme for me was that one of the older girls would be dealing with bully issues at school. The other of the older girls is a bully herself, but obviously doesn't realise that so much. And then, of course, they meet and they need each other to save the younger girls. They need each other to survive, and they must come to terms with their character flaws. That was what drove the original premise of the story. Writing Excuses was talking about an ensemble being, putting all these people together, and, they're all individuals and they all kind of work together in some way, bring something new to the story. They're all well thought out characters, well thought out individuals. And I realised I love doing this. I'm pretty sure all of my stories are, to a degree, ensemble stories. The interplay between individuals is, what really inspires me in a story. I mean, of course, the story is cool thing after cool thing, and there's my Camelot saga. There's a girl and she lives in this magical place and she has magic, and bam, now she's been captured. And oh, wait a minute, but then there's one of the people who have got her captured is starting to become her friend, and so of course there's that, and that really gets me to the keyboard. But it is the relationships between each person that makes, for me, writing a story so much fun. For me, with the Camelot saga, that also turned into the middle grade series that comes off that, which is the Song for the Stained, which is all about these sub-characters that you meet in the Camelot saga, and them having their own arcs and their own stories in these short and quippy middle grade novellas, really. I'm going to keep looking down at my notes because I have quite a few of them. Oh, I love the idea. What's the appeal of a character story? And I mentioned this on Writing Excuses, that one of the things that happens internally for a reader when you read I said character story, I meant ensemble. When you read these ensemble stories, one of the things that happens internally is that you kind of end up feeling what the character feels. And if the character feels supported, if they feel like someone's got their back, if they feel like, a superstar for knowing these people, if they feel like they can rely on people, then the reader kind of gets that sense of having friends, of having support, of having someone they can call on if they're in need, someone that just makes them feel cool, that person that sticks up for them, the person that inspires them. So the reader gets that sense if the character's getting that sense. And I heard a quote on the Creative Pen the other day, which was that the protagonist, the main character, is the reader's avatar. And I thought that's a great way of thinking about it, because especially in middle grade and really, really, really evident in YA, the reader, everyone says, oh, they're reading to escape. They're not reading to completely escape. computer just went black. They're reading to become something more. You know, if they're feeling lonely and they're not really reading to escape their loneliness, they're reading to gain a sense of belonging. So it's, for me, great to think about my story this way and to think about my characters. You know, not only what would they do, but what would a teenager sitting in their bedroom want to feel like they're able to accomplish as well. You know, what would someone who's been called a bully and they've gone home and they're laying on their bed, what would they want to get a sense of if they read a character who's also called a bully? And what about someone who has been bullied and is working through the issues of bullying? What would they want to gain? What would make them feel something more than themselves, feel a part of something more than themselves? And I don't think it's about giving teens the answers, giving the readers the answers. I think it's about exploring these things in a way that a real person can't explore. And for me, that's through fantasy. So obviously, real kids, real teenagers can't just jump through magic gates into a world where there's dragons and, you know, people with swords and they're riding horses and there's magic. And so you know, the characters can do that, and the characters can be faced with these challenges that they have to overcome and explore these ideas that they have to rationalize, and characters can all do that in such a fantastical way and give the reader a sense that they are also sifting through those things, but by no means telling them, just showing them. What else did Writing Excuses say? So I've written myself little questions here as I listen to Writing Excuses, and I'm asking myself things like, why do I want to write this ensemble? My current work, which is Twice Upon the Night Sky. I hashtag that as TUNS in Twitter. And what I want to do is write those unlikely allies. I want to have that roses and fawn kind of contrast, and it's not that the kid who's a bully is a fawn and the kid who's being bullied is a rose. It's that each person has both those qualities. And I want to have unique personalities, and I want all my characters to need each other. You know, we're not as individual as we like to think we are in a society, in a community, even in our own home. Human beings interplay with each other. You know, I need my partner, he's the breadwinner. I need my children, they are my reason for living. You know, there's all these little things though, because my son takes the rubbish out. Yep, I need that. But I also I need them for, you know, their sense of adventure and their sense of joy, and you know, you can just go on and on and on delving into this. All right, so I'm sitting here at my dining table, that's what I've written here, wondering if I've ever written anything that's not an ensemble quite naturally, which might also reveal a bit about me and my deep-seated desire to belong. You know, I often write characters who have friends who are the kind of friends that I would like to have. But towards the end of the podcast, they talk about each character having some kind of specialty, not as a necessity, but just as something that they've noticed in ensembles. And they talk about each character, you know, like if you have a heist, you have one who is the con artist and another one who is good with tech, and they all work together to get the job done. And I'm just wondering if I've given my characters a specialty enough. You know, like, you know, as teenagers, they're not going to have one who can fly a plane and another one who can, you know, I'm about to say hack computers, but I'm not even sure if I'd need that in a novel that's mostly medieval. But you know, teenagers haven't always found their specialties yet. So I'm wondering if I have actually given them enough, not just unique personality, but unique abilities. You know, as adults, we often think of teenagers as all being pretty similar. But even though I've picked one who's a bully and one who has been bullied, you need more. Is it all gone? You need more Bobo? We need more Bobo. I'll be right back. You gonna say hello? Hi. So specialties. So yeah, I'm wondering if the characters need each other, how exactly they're going to need each other. Oh, yeah. And then I feel like I need to go back and I need to drop in those positive points early in the book, so that it's really obvious when the moment comes when they do need each other, that those skills are there. And maybe this would help. Mom! Maybe this would help me define my characters a bit better and help with that characterization. And then, the writing excuses team called that a competence scene, where early on it showed that the character is competent in a scene. More than one thing is happening, but that's established. So it's given me food for thought. Going to be working on that in between. What are we going to play? We're going to play dollies? Oh, Dad. Yeah, all the dollies are on the floor over there. So in between playing dollies and hanging the washing out, I've already started a page in my story Bible. So put some notes down in. I love keeping notes. I have a crappy memory. But thank you for tuning in, and happy writing. And if you haven't checked out Writing Excuses, I highly recommend it.